All right, thanks, guys. Another great opportunity to talk to you here today. My current Army Navy pick is out on my Patreon website at patreon.com/Brock Page, and you can find that in the college football package on that website. Speaking of which, we're currently 5-2 in our last 7 board member package plays on that website. We're also hitting at 63% in our last 27 board member package plays as well. Link for that site is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/Brock Page. All right, we're going to go ahead and get through some of this NBA slate here. Did not go as in depth as I normally do with regard to individual players and stats, but we do have a nice slate of NBA action, so we should be able to get through it pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and begin. Starting off with the Spurs taking on the Suns, 5 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. Now, this matchup is currently off the board, but San Antonio really struggling this year, and more specifically, they're struggling on the road. They're just 2-8 straight up when traveling this year. They've also covered the point spread in just 30% of those games. They rank in the bottom 5 in points allowed, bottom 10 in road offensive rebounding. Meanwhile, the Suns on the other side, the record isn't all that great. It isn't as bad as it normally is, but they can put up some points. And as a matter of fact, guys, they rank in the top 5 in scoring. They're also in the top 10 in home offensive field goal percentage. They're averaging 117 points per contest at home, and they're 14-10 against the spread overall for the year. So although we have no lines currently posted for this game, I think Phoenix should get the job done. So give me the Phoenix Suns winning that one outright for some moneyline cash. All right, next game, it is going to be Nets taking on the Raptors, 7:30 Eastern tip-off in that matchup. The Raptors are the 7.5-point favorite at home. Totals at 219. Now we saw a half a point move toward Toronto and movement downward on the total. The Raptors open as the 7-point favorite up to -7.5. Total open 220 down to 219. 55% are leaning Toronto, 65% shaded toward the over. And right now, Brooklyn is plus 285 on the money line. Now, the Nets really struggling from downtown. They rank in the bottom 10 in three-point percentage, bottom 10 in points allowed on the road. Meanwhile, Toronto on the other side, pretty good at home, 9-3 straight up at the, I believe it's still the Scotiabank Arena. But anyway, 9-3 straight up at home, 8-4 against the spread in those 12 games. They also rank in the top 10 in points allowed. Very, very stingy on defense is this Raptors squad. Now, total-wise, ironically, Toronto is 8-4 to the over at home this year. So with all that in mind, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take the Raptors -7 and the over 219 in that contest. All right, next matchup. It is going to be Wizards taking on the Grizzlies, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Memphis. The Grizzlies are the 1-point favorite at home. Totals at 236.5. Right now, Memphis really, really struggling at home. Just 3-11 straight up on their home court. They've also failed to cover in 9 out of those 14 games. They rank in the bottom 3 in points allowed at home, bottom 10 in defensive field goal percentage at home. So really that's the story with Memphis, giving up a lot of points on their home court. And that could potentially not bode for them very well because Washington does have the ability to score. And as a matter of fact, they rank in the top 5 in scoring, top 5 in offensive field goal percentage. Now, oddly enough, 3 out of Washington's last 4 games did stay under the total. They're also 7-6 to the under when traveling. Now, Memphis on the other side, 5-3 to the under in their last 8. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in that one. Give me Washington +1. And the under 236.5 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Saturday's NBA action. But before we dive into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/Brock Page, where we do daily premium picks on that website beginning at just $1.99 per month. We also have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. Currently, one of our packages is called the Board Member Package, and we're 5-2 in our last 7 picks in that package. 5-2 in our last 7 board member package plays. We're also hitting at 63% in our last 27 picks on that package as well. My current Army-Navy game pick is live in the college football package. And just keep in mind, when you subscribe to a package or a tier, you get all the cheaper ones that I offer for free. They are automatically included. So I know what you're probably thinking. Why would I pay for your picks? You're giving them to me for free here on YouTube. Well, I'll explain to you the benefit and the difference between what I do on Patreon and this YouTube channel at the end of the show. So once again, you can check out my current record for free. It's right on the homepage. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into some more NBA action for this Saturday. And once again, all starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Clippers taking on the Bulls, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the Windy City. This is another game that is currently off the board. Good amount of teams playing in a back-to-back. Some guys banged up, some guys resting. So, yeah, a couple of games off the board. And, of course, this one, like I just said, off the board as well. The Clippers, pretty good against the number this year. 16-11 against the spread overall for the season. They're 18-3 straight up as the favorite. No real surprises there. They rank in the top 3 in offensive rebounding, top 3 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, Chicago on the other side, they've dropped 4 out of their last 5 games. They're also just 3-7 straight up in their last 10. That's good for just 30% in their last 10 games. They rank in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 3 in defensive rebounding. So all around just really struggling in all aspects of the game. Now Chicago, 70% to the under in their last 10. They're also 9-6 to the under on their home court. We're looking at a Clippers squad on the other side who's 16-11 to the under overall for the year. So once again, we don't have any lines posted for this game. Not really sure where the spread is going to come out at, so I'll give myself a nice easy one here and take the Clippers winning this one outright for some money line cash. And I'll probably end up leaning toward the under if that total opens up within reason. All right, next game. It is going to be Cavaliers taking on the Bucks. 8:30 Eastern tip-off in Milwaukee. No surprises here. The Bucks are the 13.5-point favorite, total at 232 and a hook. So a half a point move toward Milwaukee and movement upward on the total. The Bucks open as the 13-point favorite, up to minus 13.5. Total open 232, up to 232 and a hook. 69% are leaning Bucks, 51% shaded toward the over. Right now, Cleveland is plus 900 on the money line. Now, the Cavaliers are just 6-19 straight up on the year. Really struggling in the early portion of this season. They've also covered just 10 out of those 25 games, so they're also struggling against the point spread as well. They rank in the bottom 3 in scoring, bottom 5 in offensive field goal percentage, just really can't score. That's the story with the Cavaliers this year. Now, Milwaukee, on the other side, completely different story. They rank first in scoring, first in offensive rebounding, and they are currently on a 17-game winning streak. And I believe I overheard this morning that's actually only the second longest streak in their franchise history, which is surprising. But anyway, once again, Milwaukee, they've won their last 17 straight on the year. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Milwaukee's last 2 did get over the number. They're also 7-6 to the over at home. I'm going to lean Milwaukee minus 13.5 and the over 232.5 in that contest. Next matchup, Heat, Mavericks, 8:30 Dallas. The Mavs are the 7-point favorite, total of 215.5. So a half a point fade of Dallas and movement upward on the total. The Mavs open 7.5 down to minus 7. Total open 215 up to 215 and a hook. 53% are leaning Miami, 82% shaded toward the over. Right now the Heat are plus 260 on the money line. Now Miami's 2-0 against the number in their last couple of games. They're also 17-8 against the spread overall for the year. They're ranked in the top 5 in offensive rebounding, top 10 in points allowed on the road. Now Dallas on the other side, they've played 13 games at home. They've only covered in just 6 of them. They're also 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 head-to-head matchups with the Heat, if you're into historical trends. Now, total-wise, we're looking at a Dallas squad who is 15-9 to the over on the year. Miami 3-0 to the over in their last trio of ball games themselves. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me Miami +7 and the over 215.5 in that contest. Next game, Pistons taking on the Rockets, 9 o'clock Houston. The Rockets are the 8.5-point favorite, total at 227. We saw a half a point fade of Houston and movement downward on the total. The Rockets open -9 down to -8.5. Total open 227.5 down to 227. 59% are leaning Rockets, 64% shaded toward the over. Right now, Detroit is +345 on the money line. The Pistons have failed to cover 9 out of their 12 away games this year. They rank in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 5 in offensive rebounding. Now, Houston on the other side, they are not struggling to score. They rank in the top 3 in scoring, top 5 in offensive rebounding. They are 17-8 overall for the season. 2 out of Houston's last 3 did get over the number. Detroit 5-2 to the over in their last 7 themselves. I'm going to purchase the hook, buy it down, and lean Houston -8 and the over 227 in that game. And of course, I'm going to slide to my next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Thunder taking on the Nuggets, 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the Mile High City. Denver's -7, totals 205. We saw a half a point fade of Denver and movement downward on this already low total. The Nuggets open 7.5 down to -7. Total open 205.5 down to 205 even. 58% are leaning Denver, 74% shaded toward the over. Right now, OKC is +250 on the money line. OKC is also 4-0 against the number in their last 4 games. 8-4 against the spread when traveling this year. They rank in the top 10 in offensive field goal percentage, top 5 in points allowed on the road. Now Denver on the other side, losers in 5 out of their last 7. They also rank in the bottom 5 in home scoring. Total-wise, Denver, no surprises here, 7-1 to the under in their last 8. They're also 17-6 to the under for the season. OKC, 6 out of their last 7 stayed under the number themselves. They're also 8-4 to the under when traveling. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me OKC +7 and the under 205 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our quick pick recap. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 5-2 in our last 7 board member package plays on that website. I like OKC +7 under 205, Houston -8 over 227, Miami +7 over 215.5, Milwaukee -13.5 over 232 and a hook, Washington +1 under 236.5, Clippers money line and under the total, Toronto -7 over 219, and last but certainly not least, I like Phoenix winning their ball game outright for some money line cash. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage, where, like I just said, we're 5-2 in our last 7 board member package plays on that website. We're also hitting at 63% in our last 27 board member package plays on that website as well. We do daily premium picks on that website beginning at just $1.99 per month. There's a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. And I know what you're probably thinking, like, Brock, why would I sign up for Patreon when you literally just handicap the entire NBA slate for free? You just gave me all the picks for free right here on YouTube. Well, that is true. But basically what I do here on YouTube is I handicap every single game on the board, side and total. We're basically throwing darts here, right? You can't bet every single game side and total, and you certainly don't want to do that with your hard-earned money. The math is always against you. The books are too smart. The books are too sharp. It's too much action. You cannot bet every single game on the board and expect for that to be a winning formula. So what we do on Patreon is we really narrow it down and dial it in the 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're high percentage selections, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much: my current record on Patreon is a whole lot better than it is closing my eyes and picking games on YouTube, throwing darts, right? Handicap every single game on the board, side and total. Don't take any free passes. Don't handicap an entire game and then tell you it's a stay-away game. We formulate opinion on every single game on this channel. Having said that, though, not a winning formula for success. Patreon's where it's at, where we really focus in on those 3 to 4 premium selections per day. Great value as well. Once again, packages begin at just $1.99 per month. But anyway, guys, I do have to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you on patreon.com/BrockPage.